Hey there, what's up YouTube? It's your boy JRSD here. I'm your coach at the Seattle Pidgeots here for IBL season number 8, and we are going to talk about playoffs here today. So, as I said in the last video, we were facing my boy Lee, aka the coach of the Portland Trail Blazekins, here in the first round of the playoffs. We were locked in even before wildcards were happening, so we both got a bye week. We played him in the regular season, week 6, I believe, and we 6-0'd him, actually. So pretty good kind of feeling going into the match at least. But, big but, is that right after that week that we beat him, he made a bunch of transactions. Here, I'm going to pull it up really quick. Let's see exactly what transactions he made. 1 second here. I just don't want to spoil anything while I pull these up. Where is he at? Here. Alright, so if we put this back, that should show up. So, yeah. So, it was, week 7. We had beat him. He finished same record as us, 7-4. We had the better differential, so we had technically home ice advantage. Whatever. But so he dropped Primeape, Frostmoth, Mawile, Mantine, and Decidueye, all that he had in the last game. 2 of which he brought Frostmoth and Primeape. And then he picked up Regice, Go-Goat, Centiskorch, Comfey, and the big one is Keldeo. Keldeo is an absolute monster versus my team. And so the rest of his roster, obviously, Celesteela, Necrozma, Zeraora, Mega Garchomp, Regice, Archeops, Stuntank, Go-Goat, Comfey, Centiskorch, and Lickitung, with Keldeo as well. So this is his roster here. Our roster, obviously, Zygarde, Aerodactyl, Mega, Shaymin, Ninetales, Pangoro, Nidoking, Arctozold, Seismitoad, Skarmory, Primeape, which we picked up from him at a later date. We picked up the guy he dropped, and then Carkol and Flareon. So, what we are rocking with for playoffs. Keldeo, huge problem, just keep that in mind. Celesteela, Zeraora, both decent versus my team, but both also can be easily worn down / beaten by members of my team. So good versus others, not good versus the other ones. Necrozma, also huge problem versus my team. He brought Autotomize Meteor Beam in the last game, I believe. So, especially defensive invested Zygarde here. Need Buns Hun, because it's a snake. Get it? Haha. Thousand Arrows, Glare, Coil, Substitute. We are recording. Good. Light Clay on the Ninetales, Keone. Blizzard, Moonblast, Aurora Veil, and Heal Bell. Just in case something gets burned on a Scald Switch in, or a random toxic, something like that. So Ninetales pretty good. We got a few setup mons here, as you'll see. Well, actually it's just Zygarde, but whatever. Veil is good if I need it. But basically it's just an offensive threat here. Not a lot of switch-ins to Moonblast for him other than Celesteela, which doesn't like Blizzards. It takes them if it's defensive, but it doesn't like them. And then, not a dinosaur, the Mega Aerodactyl, Dual Wing Beat, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Roost. Enough speed for Zeraora, obviously. And then, max attack and stuff. This is the most important member of our team. It is Over the Hedge, the Shaymin, Seed Flare, Earth Power, Leech Seed, and Substitute. Sub-Leech Seed, really good versus his team. This is my Keldeo answer. So, Calm Mind, Sub, Hydro Pump, Air Slash, Keldeo, or, basically Secret Sword, Hydro Pump, Air Slash, Calm Mind, something like that. That kind of Keldeo really, really is very good versus my team. So we've got Shaymin. This also deals with Mega Garchomp to an extent, being physically defensive. Um, he could be like a defensive flamethrower kind of set, which would screw it up a little bit, but like scale shot, offensive Garchomp is not. Yeah. Whatever. And then Mad Eye, the Seismitoad. So especially defensive, also for Keldeo. And Celesteela and Necrozma and Zeraora a little bit. Zygarde is mostly my Zeraora switch in though. Earth Power, Scald, Stealth Rock, and Toxic, pretty basic there. And then we have Life Orb, Nidoking here. So if I get this in on something that is slower than it, basically I just want to chip at his team as much as possible. Because his main threats, Zeraora, Necrozma, Garchomp, Keldeo, and then his main defensive, well, not defensive, but like kind of pivot mons. So Regice, Celesteela, Skuntank, and Senscorch, and Gogoat even. They don't have reliable recovery. So obviously Leech Seed on Celesteela is a thing. And he's got Wish with Lickitung, but just breaking down his team early is what I want. So you can see that he brought exactly the team pretty much that I thought he was going to bring. Garchomp, Celesteela, Comfey, Zygarde, or not Zygarde, Zeraora, Necrozma, and Keldeo. Basically everything that I am afraid of. I thought he could have brought Skuntank as a defogger instead of Comfey, but I figured it would be Comfey to kind of handle Zygarde at the same time as being a defogger. Because Comfey and Skuntank are his only hazard removal. If I am correct, yes. Yeah, so he had to bring Defog because I have Toxic Spikes and stuff like that, so. Yeah, so I lead off with Nidoking as he leads off with the Zeraora. Nidoking, if you didn't know, and Nidoqueen, is type-wise the best check to Zeraora because it doesn't get, like, its best move is like Grass Knot, especially offensive, and that does not do a lot. So he goes to Celesteela immediately. I go for Sludge Wave. I could have just gone for Thunderbolt right off the bat and made those plays, but I didn't want to. He goes for Flash Cannon. It actually does quite a bit, but we're able to just pressure him here with Thunderbolt, bring him down to 11. He is going to go for Flash Cannon again. And here, I can't really, because I have Toxic Spikes as my fourth move. No, I have Ice Beam. I should have gone for Ice Beam here. I figured that he'd go back into Zeraora and take me out with a knockoff, but I didn't make the play. Whatever. Here I go Shaymin. He's locked into a knockoff or something. I thought he would be banded, but I'm not sure. I go for Sub here on the Comfey and Leech Seed, but he goes back into Celesteela. Getting that leftovers recovery. Obviously, pretty good for him, but I'm just going to Leech Seed here if he chooses to stay in. But he does not. He just goes back into Comfey. And then I realize, oh, he's just going to keep U-turning into Celesteela, clicking Protect, and whatever. So I go for Seed Flare here. I outspeed, obviously, as he goes for U-turn, back into Celesteela. And I don't want him to be able to do this continuously. So now I go into Zygarde. He actually does Air Slash this time, though. So that's pretty cool. I go for 1,000 Arrows here just to get damage and knock him down. Obviously, it brings you down, so you're super effective. He goes Garchomp. I go back into the Shaymin here, eat the Earthquake, but he is actually defensive with rocks. I just go for Seed Flare here in case he wanted to set up or whatever. I didn't want to sub. He does have the Flamethrower, but we have Leech Seeds, so we're pretty good. And he goes back into Celesteela. I double Leech Seed. Pretty good. Nice prediction on my part, but that was a pretty obvious play. He does go into Garchomp here. I sub. He does end up being faster than me. Crits, which doesn't matter. But the Seed Flare also crits, also doesn't matter. So, Garchomp is down. It is 5-5, and he goes into the Keldeo. I just go right for the Seed Flare. I'm not letting this thing sub on me. I'm not letting it whatever. Here I go for Aerodactyl, because I figured he would want to stall out my Seed Flares here. And I have dual wing beat, so if he goes for sub, again, which he does, you're bringing him down to 57, then to 63. A dual wing beat kills through sub, so one will hit and break the sub, and he's not Cobra Berry, so the second hit will kill through the sub. So he is forced out into Zero Aura. It does like 35 to Zero Aura, but I'm able to go back into the Shaymin here, eat the Plasma Fists. As you can see, Shaymin's super good in this game. He's not Schweist, as you can find out there, as he knocks off my leftovers. But that's no big deal. We double seed, I believe. Yeah, we do. We make another play as he goes to Celesteela. I go Seismitoad here. Try and get my rocks up, I think, is what I do. As he doubles into the Zero Aura. I could have taken it out right here, but I go for Toxic instead. He goes in Comfey. I go back to Shaymin, which is fine by me. I'm just going to Seed Flare here, and I do get the drop, which I think is like 50% or something. So that's pretty cool. He misses the Toxic. That's the huge hacks here. He does miss the Toxic, which, I mean, I am Natural Cure, so I just switch out into Seismitoad. And does it really change something? I don't know, but it's pretty unfortunate. I will also landed all my Seed Flares, and I got one drop, so the hacks is definitely on my side here as I go for Seed Flare to take him out again. He goes into the Necrozma. I do get the drop again, and he goes for Autotomize. So I'm like, oh crap. Okay, so he's going to go for Meteor Beam here, and it does take me out at +1, but he misses. So that cost him the game for sure. If we just go back here at +1, the Necrozma does take me out here at 43 because I'm physically defensive, but it does not win him the game immediately. Seismitoad lives a hit. He's at -2 special defense, so Earth Power does take him out from 59. So it's unfortunate that Shaymin goes down, or that Shaymin doesn't go down, because Zero Aura would have been a lot better. But yeah, Seismitoad plus then he also can't one-shot Zygarde either, so it's very unfortunate. It definitely cost him a lot of momentum, and yeah, I go 8 for 8 with Seed Flares, but I go here into Ninetales to stop the Keldeo from doing any shenanigans here. Moonblast, he ends up being Scald, and Moonblast is able to take out the Keldeo. Zero Aura comes in, just takes me out with the Plasma Fists, but Seismitoad is able to come in here. He clicks Play Rough, which is understandable that he missed, but he is Shuka, so he does die to the Toxic, so Seismitoad gets that kill too. And then he is Giga Drain here. I was told after that if he was Calm Mind here, I lose if I don't I click Toxic. If I don't click Toxic first, but because he had U-turn and I knew he would have had to have Defog, I figured he wouldn't be Calm Mind, so I get the Toxic off, and then I can just let Aerodactyl clean this up, and we are moving on. Yeah, so dies to Toxic there. So for IBL Season 8, we are going to the second round of the playoffs here. So this is us here. We are facing Max and his Muscovian Sand Slashes. He's the guy with Dracovish. We played him earlier in the year, and he beat us very easily, I believe, which is unfortunate. Let's see. Yeah, 4-0. He's got Rain plus Dracovish plus Torn plus Regieleki. So yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. And he's even got double weather. He's got Gigalith. So, yeah. It's going to be tough. He was 5-6, and he beat Woodsy in the playoffs. So, good for him. Yeah, so we will see you guys next week for round 2. Horses Max, it hasn't happened yet, so we'll get on that. But, yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Hit like if you're new. If you're new, hit subscribe. We do Draft League content here. And yeah, stick around for the memes and the vibes. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.